What is up, fight fans? Today we have got a huge episode packed with fresh updates and some major shakeups from all over the MMA world.
No more pay-per-view. Okay, maybe a little fighting.
UFC 324 main event. I think it's a disgrace.
What happens to Arman? Arman's gonna have to fight who?
Do you think, does it leave Tsarukyan in limbo at lightweight?
Stupid, he's not moving up. Like, come on.
The community is frustrated, emotions are high, and everyone is talking about what just happened. Arman Tsarukyan got completely pushed aside while Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett look happier than we've ever seen them. So what actually went down? Why did Dana White make a decision that shocked the entire fan base? And that's not all. We have got all that and a lot more coming your way. So without further ado, let's get started. The UFC revealed that Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje will fight for the interim belt. The news blew up the internet instantly. Everybody understands that the real #1 contender is Arman Tsarukyan, and that's exactly why this whole situation feels so messy. Arman is the guy who should have been next in line. He just dominated Dan Hooker in a way that left no questions. He's proven he is the top contender. He proved that he belongs in the title picture, and fans expected the UFC to reward him for that. Instead, things went the opposite way. Not only did he get skipped over for the title shot, but he also didn't even get the interim fight. Now he is stuck without an opponent at all, while the entire top 5 is already booked. Gaethje and Pimblett are set to fight for the interim belt in January 2026 at UFC 324. Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway are talking about fighting in March. So the top guys are booked and Tsarukyan can only wait. He doesn't have an opponent, he doesn't have a date, and he doesn't have clarity about his future. A lot of fans are blaming Ilia, saying that he messed up the whole division. But at this point, it is clear this isn't just Topuria. This looks like a coordinated plan between him and the UFC. And now looking at how things are lining up, it finally makes sense why the UFC waited so long to announce Topuria's next opponent. There is a massive event coming up at the White House, and it is pretty clear that the UFC wants to headline it with something historic. A super fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. That is something the UFC has never seen before, a true champion versus champion type of super fight. And if that is the plan, then of course they don't want Topuria risking everything in a regular title defense against someone that is as dangerous as Tsarukyan. One bad night, and all those big plans disappear. So instead of risking Topuria, the UFC chose to leave Tsarukyan without a fight. It's not fair, and everyone sees it, but we've also seen this kind of thing in the UFC many times before. There have been fighters who stayed contenders for years without getting a title shot, simply because the UFC had other plans. Fans are frustrated, analysts are frustrated, and the MMA world is questioning the UFC's decision.
Today confirmed that the UFC does not like Arman Tsarukyan. Not necessarily about star power, not necessarily about fight style, but they are really mad at Arman Tsarukyan for how he handled his pullout against Islam Makhachev. What was that, UFC 311? And then his first fight back, which was 10 months later, was almost called off because he headbutted Dan Hooker at the weigh-ins. If you thought Arman Tsarukyan was going to get the first fight on Paramount, no. I saw some people saying on Twitter and other places that the UFC has it out for Arman. Yeah, they do. Look at Diego Lopez. Does he necessarily deserve another title shot against Volk? Probably not. But Diego Lopez has said yes to everything since he got into the UFC. Also, Arman punched a fan while he was walking out. UFC doesn't like him. He's too good though. He probably will hold the belt at some point, but they are going to make him wait. Whoever wins Paddy vs. Gaethje will fight Ilia in the spring, and we won't see Ilia against Arman until the end of the year. And Ilia still wants that fight against Islam. So who knows? And I think the only person that Arman has to blame here is himself.
But let's look at it from a different angle. Justin Gaethje is a legend. He's been in the UFC for a long time, he's given the fans some of the craziest wars in MMA history, and honestly, that's why the UFC decided to meet him halfway. They gave him one last chance. Gaethje reacted with pure gratitude and fire. He wrote that he is thankful for the opportunity, thankful for this new chapter with the UFC and Paramount, and ready to remind the world who he is. He said he wants to prove once again that he is still one of the most exciting fighters of this era. And let's be real, when Gaethje steps into that cage, he always delivers. No excuses, no running, no boring fights, just chaos. And now with Paddy across from him, the stakes are higher than ever. Paddy Pimblett didn't waste a single second after getting the interim title fight. He immediately went after Arman Tsarukyan online, posting a "you like apples" jab aimed straight at him. Classic Paddy trolling. He even uploaded a clip showing Arman crying. And honestly, Paddy is enjoying every moment of this. He knows this matchup is a gift from the UFC. He understands how massive this opportunity is. If he somehow manages to beat Justin Gaethje, he becomes the interim lightweight champion. And that would be absolutely insane. Paddy can feel that this is the biggest moment of his life, and he's leaning into it with full energy.
First ever time I'm going to fought in January, the earliest I've ever fought. It's going to ruin my Christmas dinner and my birthday because I'm 31 like 3 weeks before it. But it's all going to be worth it when I lift that real title above my head. And Paddy the Baddy is a world champion. And 2026 is going to be the biggest year of my life. I am coming for that interim title. Then I'll be making it the undisputed title when I come and beat Ilia up and take the undisputed title. And then little posh boy, if he manages to fight in that time, because he likes sitting out and saying he's got a sore back, if little posh boy fights in that time and keeps his ranking, I'll punch his head in as well.
Sean O'Malley also jumped into the whole Ilia versus Arman Tsarukyan discussion, and in a recent conversation on the Overdogs podcast, he said
that he would vacate the belt to not fight Arman Tsarukyan. Is he running from Arman?
It's hard to picture anybody beating Ilia right now. You know, realistically, they go get in that cage, it's like Arman definitely has a chance. He definitely has a shot. Ilia is such a massive superstar right now. It's like, why fight Arman when you could fight Islam or, Gaethje is a bigger fight than Arman. Paddy is a bigger fight. So it just depends on where Ilia's head's at. Does he want to just go out there and, hey, I want the next best guy? I feel like he's kind of past that. He's kind of like, who's the biggest fight? What's going to be the most attention? In his mind, it's not Arman right now.
TJ Dillashaw just added more fuel to the fire by claiming that Ilia is running from Arman Tsarukyan. Speaking on the Jackson podcast, Dillashaw said,
Ilia has expressed interest about moving up and maybe trying to face Makhachev. How realistic is this scenario, do you think? Does it leave Tsarukyan in limbo at lightweight?
Stupid. He's not moving up. Like, come on. There's too many horses in the stable at 170.
I'm moving up.
Yeah.
Is he trying to run from Arman? Is Ilia running from Arman?
I do think so.
Oh,
okay. That's legit.
So. Hello. With that said, I think that Ilia
Who wouldn't want to run from Arman? Have you seen him before?
I'm running from him currently. I don't even know the guy I'm running from.
I do think Ilia is the highest skilled fighter in the UFC right now, but I do think he is threatened by Arman. Arman's big, he's strong, he's great at the weight class, his boxing is clean, great grappling. It's a tough fight for him to where he can go to 70s. Maybe he doesn't get the win. It doesn't make sense to me. The only fight for Ilia right now is Arman.
Ariel Helwani just went off on the UFC. On his MMA show, Helwani said he couldn't believe the promotion skipped the obvious #1 contender, Arman Tsarukyan. According to Helwani, Arman earned his spot the hard way, beat top names, took the toughest fights, and still got passed over for a matchup that clearly has more to do with business than rankings.
The #1 contender at 155 pounds is a guy named Arman Tsarukyan, and he's not involved in this fight. This is a makeshift fight. This is as prestigious as a BMF title. God bless. I said I wanted to see Paddy fight for the belt. God bless. But this is a bogus fight, and it's insane to me that it is headlining over Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. On paper, Paddy vs. Justin is a fine fight to determine the #1 contender to fight Ilia and or Arman. Ilia won that belt back in June. I don't even think you need an interim title fight. Honestly, it should have been the co-main event, 5-round #1 contender fight, Ilia versus Arman, second half of the year. What's the problem with that? And now what you just said, because he reiterated this in the Instagram Live, the winner of this fight is going to fight Ilia. What happens to Arman? Arman's going to have to fight who? What is going on? What does Arman Tsarukyan have to do to get a shot at the belt now? He did what Khamzat and Islam did not do. He finished his opponent on the ground in dominant, impressive fashion. And now what is he? Now he's just floating in the wind.
With you and the...
Well, it's not about getting back in the good graces. It's about, you know, the guy had the opportunity to fight for a title and didn't make weight. It's just, I mean, you couldn't f up anything worse than that. But he proved, you know.
Jake Paul reacted to the UFC's recent announcements by calling out what he sees as double standards. He wrote, "They want to abolish the Muhammad Ali Act because they claim they want to give boxing the best fighting the best. So why are all the fans crying foul about these new UFC fights they announced?" He also added that Harrison versus Nunes deserves its own main event.
1 week later, we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez.
Lerone Murphy, who many believed was the clear frontrunner, did not hide how disappointed he was. He wrote on X, "Missing the opportunity to fight one of the featherweight GOATs hurts the most. It's not about who's the best anymore, it's about who's the most popular." Movsar Evloev also jumped in and offered to settle things directly. He called out Murphy and said, "I'll give you the chance to fight the #1 contender. Tell your people you're ready to fight me on the same card as the championship." The frustration didn't end there. Even former champion Aljamain Sterling blasted the UFC for booking Volkanovski versus Lopez again. He wrote, "Lerone or Movsar should have been the guy. Movsar got passed over once and now Lopez gets another shot? Cold world." Sterling ended his rant saying fans need to speak up if they want merit, not popularity, to decide title shots. According to many fans, the unfair decisions didn't only happen in the lightweight division, the chaos spilled over into featherweight as well. Alexander Volkanovski said that Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy have both earned a title shot, but he admitted that Diego Lopez is the matchup fans are most excited about.
You know, we thought, Lerone Murphy, December, I guess UFC, and they were waiting for Jean Silva and Lopez. Then they were saying Lopez, and we're like, obviously we're like, and we just thought that guy. Is there more deserving people, whatnot? But everybody knows that I'll fight anyone, right? So whoever they put in front of me, I'll do. But then it was looking like it wasn't going to happen. But then it did happen, which was great. Again, I thought, it was a Movsar deserving, Lerone Murphy. I thought they were the two guys. They're the guys I called out. UFC really want Lopez. At least everyone knows you're in for a treat. With your Movsars and Lerones, they're probably, they're more deserving. But are they going to bring a fight like Lopez would? I think the fans are going to appreciate the fight that me and Lopez are going to have.
Alexander Volkanovski's coach also admitted he didn't expect Diego Lopez to get the fight. In a recent conversation with Submission Radio, he said,
"We thought it was going to be either Movsar or Murphy, or the winner out of Murphy and what? Can't remember who Murphy
and Pico, Aaron Pico.
Yes. And so we had that sort of, it was going to be out of Murphy or Pico, maybe a Movsar, but we didn't really have much hope on that. And then when Murphy had that spectacular KO, we said, yeah, it's Murphy, and all indications and everything, led to Murphy. Till Diego had his spectacular KO and everything changed.
Islam Makhachev returned to the gym and was met with a warm welcome. With Islam back, the training sessions are expected to turn into energetic, competitive scraps with plenty of sparks.
Поздороваемся. Сразу одевайте перчатки, щитки. Отработать? Отработать.
Сейчас ты пришел здесь нормально появится у всех настроение. Сейчас что за рубки будут? Искры. Почему бы и нет? Почему бы и нет? Добавили, добавили. Суббота. Бег в гору. Давай, давай, добавляйте. Сагида потеряли опять.
Switzerland, we from Sweden. We are from Stockholm.
Very good to see you guys.
You too, brother. Good to speak to you, huh?
One day we will see you in Stockholm,
Inshallah. And we wrestle. We grapple. I will grapple with you.
How much your weight?
My weight? Oh, you don't want to know, brother.
How much your weight? Tell me.
84.
185.
Brother, this guy old man now. Me, I'm 51. Me, I'm 52. I'm older than Clomier.
Brother, my leg 83 kilo. Be careful. In the mat, not respect.
Okay, brother. Well, champ. See you, champ.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
And that is all for today, but if you liked the video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate you all.